I'm going to take a look at the Dow Jones chart here. This is the 4-hour chart, so each candle is going to represent 4 hours. We saw our big decline here, and we've worked our way up pretty nicely here. We saw this big green candle from today's session to close out the week on a high note. I'm going to go ahead and call this wave 1 here and 2. We're working on 3. We'll make something like that. The reason why I'm saying that is if we take this fib level from the beginning of 1 to the top of 2 and the end of 3, we made a pretty nice retracement right down to the 0.5 fib level right there on the dot. So I'm pretty confident in calling this wave 1 and 2. So we'll have 3, 4, 5. The question is where do we top out at up here? Let's take our fib extension tool here, kind of start it right there to the top into the bottom of that retracement. So maybe like 24,200. Let's just go ahead and put a trend line here. So we're gonna say this market's gonna do something like this potentially, right? So if we're gonna make a perfect one-to-one fib extension from that low to that retracement, we'll be right there. If we zoom out a little bit here, let's just zoom out and look at the price action from today. We had a break of a pretty important level. So from here you can see a nice support here and a bounce, support here and a bounce, support here and a bounce, support here and a bounce. Let's go back to the 4-hour. You can see this green candle close just above that resistance line. So if it was previously support, we broke the support, so now this should be resistance. You saw we had trouble there, getting over it. This candle finally puts us over that resistance marker. So hopefully this will now act as a floor and give us some support. We made this fib extension up to the 1-to-1 ratio, so I put the second line here. This is where I think our next resistance is. And if we make this, if we just spread this out a little further, you can see it makes a lot of sense. It just so happens to act as support there, support there, support there. We broke through it. It should act as resistance. It should act as a ceiling. So I'm pretty confident that this is where we'll top out at. This is where we should start thinking about shorting the market back down. Let's just kind of go to the weekly chart here. You see our 9-day moving average here, and what do you know? It's just gonna drop right down on our resistance line there. So I think we come up here in next week's action, next week's sessions. We continue to go higher, and we really get hit hard here. 1-to-1 extension. Previous support is now resistance. We have the moving average coming down. We should probably hit that and work our way back down. So I think for the next week or so we should be able to see some more gains, and we'll look at buying some put options to short this market once we get around this level here.